thola abafana babesuthi abaphase ngemadoda score kodwa uma kiwa efundweni asibone next, which proved ukuthi the education in South Africa how poor it was
compared to
yaseLesotho. Umfather Fetrat ethi ngibambisa itrunk iphakamisa, it was so light. Uyabuza ukuthi what's in there? Nithi ukuthi session phana. Siya compete nabo manje.
Separating the men from the boys.
Yes.
Why didn't Africans go out and explore the world? We didn't have a need to.
Lokuthi umhlophe unamehlo ablue nenwele ezinde
was Wits in defiance of the government when they accepted black students, or did they separate the black students in the class from the white students? Lived pre-apartheid, you've lived during apartheid, you are now living in democracy. How has things changed?
Yeah.
So, in process of being a Lesotho, how long were you bedside for?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Funeka angithi fanele ngimatriculate bese ngiyoqala the 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after matriculating. So 5 years. It was June. Ngibuye kwashona ufather superior wethu. Yeah. Kwangena omunye kwaba ufather Manya, ufather superior. We were on holidays during June. Ngithola ama results ka June. Happy, excited. Kwalandela encwadi ukuthi indoda indawo ikuphelele la. Yes. Kwakuthi ngife and incwadi explain ukuthi why. I didn't know ukuthi fanele ngenze njani. How am I going to tell my mom this? Ufather Verstrata akasekho la. Use Clarksdorp. Who am I going to tell? Ufather owayekhona kwakukhona ufather Kapun. Ngaya kufather Kapun ngafike ngamnika ama results. Wajabula. Ngase ngimnika nencwadi. Ngathi, what do I do, father? What I explain ukuthi ngenzeni. What do I do now? What well? They are in charge. Into abayishoyo kufanele siyilalele. Sihloniphe. But are you not going to find out why?
That's the reason.
Yeah. Well, wayifikela na engenandaba kangazi from a blue bar of soap. Yabona?
Don't have the same relationship.
Yeah.
So impilo change, I guess, from that point.
Yeah, change.
Had to take a different direction.
Yeah. I couldn't go back to Switzerland.
And by that time, what is it that you had learned in Lesotho, uMkhulu, that you would say that as much as before going to Lesotho, you were above the average, or you were above most of your peers? Now you went into a foreign country, you learned different trades, you learned different languages, you had access to a different kind of education. So now when you come back, how does that raise your profile as a young man compared to your peers now?
As I said, I became popular. And I was lucky. Angora, please. I remember at one time, Angyanga, ukuyodlala, sidlala nenye boarding school, yabafana. Sasithi kidinjing. Because of their behavior. Thina ngapha sifundela ubufundisi, yabona?
Discipline.
Yeah, sitrainelwa, yabona, bona ngale hayi khona. Yeah, mabebona intombazane hey bahlanye isoma that noma sibuya thina ngestimela amantombazane would come and beg ukuthi bahlale kuma compartments esikuwo because they knew they were safe there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unlike those hungry.
Yeah. Lapha impilo was so different from impilo engangiphila eSoweto.
Okay.
Uma nifika nifika umabhasi engena elandelana. Yeah. Abefundisi bayaphuma bazokuma la. Indawo ngathi stoop kanje. Bama lapho phezulu bona. Thina sekhe emabhasini simele lapha phansi nama trunkage and so on. Bonke abefundisi abazosifundisa bakhona lapha balapho. Qalwa ngomthandazo sime lapho. Basibusisa abefundisi lapho. Bese beyasho ke uFather Superior uzosho athi senior students niyazi ukuthi ama dormitories abantu abafikayo akuphi, please assist them nangama luggages abo siyohlangana refectory kusho ukuthi la kudlelwa khona isikhathi bayasazi ama seniors ama homeboys etayas so siya lapho discipline from the onset, something different. Hey, siyatshelwa uma sidla isapha lapho uma sesiqedile ukudla isapha singakaphumi ukuthi abanama teen staff sicela ukuthi bawaqede tonight. Uma behlulekile ukuwaqeda thatha yonke into ekuthiwa i-teen staff uyisa lapha yothola sister lapha. They will know what to do with all those teen staff. Last sifuna ukuthi nifane nonke.
Yeah.
Nifane nonke la. There should be no difference. Yeah. Ningabantwana bethu la abantwana bandawonye bayafana bonke. Nizodla ukudla okufanayo. Akunakuthi lo is from a family enje. Yeah. Abaphethe imali uma siphuma la niyakubheza ama seniors enu seniors show them where the beza is.
What is a beza Mkhulu?
Ibezari abantu abadila ngabanika imali
okay.
Yena ohenglisha imali zala kulesikole lesi zonke yabona so leyo madlana oyiphethe tshela igama lakho uyibhala right next to your name leyo mali leyo uyamnika leyo mali akukho umuntu okufanele ukuthi abe ne pocket money lapho because uzothenga izinto ezimnandi sifana sonke
Zithatha mawuphumi.
Yeah, uma ngabe uyabhema yamnika leyo ama cigarettes ekhavala awu5 balwa phansi no smoking here. You are taller in the morning ye home go uyela ekhaya uma ngabe yokusabhema but you told bawuthatha lokwayi bawuthengisela obaba basebenza emaplazini lapha lesebenza yabo yeah and imali yakho uyithola ngehome go eve ebusuku njengoba injalo nogwayi uthola ngakusasa ekseni kulindwa amabhasi niyeza nizokhiwela ugwayi wenu niyanikwa ugwayi wenu yabo uyathengwa ninikwe ngoba lo wena afika nawo uthengisiwe already uthengiselwe labo baba basebenza lapho kokwisikole sinjalo sifana sonke.
And my other question Mkhulu, is, and I from what I'm taking from your story is that you tried to make the best of life, because the times that you're explaining was like we said earlier on, apartheid had already started, but I have not once heard you complain about it, about what the system was doing to black people. My question then is, okay, you are back from Lesotho. Yes. Now we are heading towards the June 76 uprising, where the others were still studying or still in school are now fighting the system. I wanted to find out as well is, from your memory, what do you remember about the 76 uprising or heading towards it? Because for many people, that's where the history of Soweto starts. So I want to hear from your side, what was the actual build-up? Because as much as people believe that it happened on 16 June 76, it was actually a build-up that got to that day. What is it that you can remember from how the whole scene played out?
A lot. 76, my son, Upegi, had started schooling already. Yeah, ngase ngishadile ngiganile nginengane yomfana mina ngamthola uBheki emshadweni.
Okay.
Yeah, uyabona. Yeah. I got married at the age of 24.
Okay.
At the age of 24. I had to. Yeah. Ngathola umsebenzi ngasebenza. Ngabeka imali, ngalobola. One, my mom wayengenayo indlu. Wayehlala kadade wabo. Ingane zakwethu yabona zi all over the show ehlotsheni. Yabona. So I had to get my mom a place to stay and ngibuyise ingane zakwethu zizohlala nathi.
Okay.
Yeah. Yabona. Yeah. So those days wawungeke uyithola indlu ungashadanga. You had to get married before getting a house.
Yes.
So also like I think there is so sorry to interject, Mkhulu. Yeah, what was the reasoning behind it, and how would they have rejected you? What was the how, like, in terms of the communication? How did you receive it? That no, the only reason that you are not gonna qualify or get it is because you are not married.
Kwakwaziwa umthetho wona. Ukhumbule, whites did not bring blacks from wherever they came from because they liked them. They brought them over ukuthi bazokwenza spade work. Yeah, the job they could not do.
But they did not want to do.
Yeah. Abesimame bazonakekela izingane zabelungu. Yabo? Yeah. Bazophekela Mrs. Nobas, bazowashela baayinele Mrs. Nobas nezingane zabo. They didn't want them next to them. Obaba bazokwenza igarden. Yeah. Emafemini ba Zulus. You'd never find umZulu enza omunye umsebenzi. Omantshingelano. Yabo.
Which is still the perception now as well, where the narrative is if it's Zulu, it's taxi driver, it's security guard.
Yeah.
So
Uyabona, I could understand why amaZulu ingizwani nokusebenza. The background, okay, not only emkhambathini. uNkulunkulu wasibeka thina ezweni. Wasinika everything esidingayo ukuthi siphile. Uma wakha indlu njengoba kuthiwa mud houses, inhlabathi khona ucova udaka. If you needed poles, amahlathi akhona uya ehlathini yagawula. You need ukuthi ufulele ekhaya utshani bukhona uyosika. Amapali yakho uyabona everything ikhona la. Inkomo yes. Yeah, wawuba nemfuyo as much as you wanted to. So a Zulu guy did not need ukuthi as a drop in or ayosebenzela omunye umuntu no. Ngoba noma ufika ungenalutho mhlambe kuyaliwa esigodini sakini and basola ukuthi yathakatha and so on yabaleka ubalekela la uzocela bakunika indawo kuthiwa induna ikhombise la uzokwakha khona. Induna iyakhombisa ikunika insimu ozolimela abantu abakho kuyo. Unikwa inkomo yokuthi uzosengela abantu abakho. Liyansimu uyalima. Yabo? Uyatshala uyahlakula uyavuna kuyadliwa yonke into ila. You don't have to go uyosebenza for omunye umuntu. No. Ukulusa inkomo abafana bala ekhaya bayazilusa inkomo. Yeah.
It was one of the governors of the Natal colony at the time who said the same thing, that we are going to have problems with these people because they have no need for our money, for our labor, and all of these things. They are self-sufficient. They clothe themselves, they feed themselves. So the only way you can subdue them is to break down their way of life and the family structure that they have. And that's why one of the funny things that people always say is that when we're fighting for liberation, we wanted to fight for the land. Because that is what was taken from us. Because that is what enabled us to stand by ourselves without needing outside people. Because people also like to ask, why didn't Africans go out and explore the world? We didn't have a need to.
Yeah, everything was here.
We had everything here.
But if you look at what you are saying now as well, Akani, it's a similar thing to what's happening on the continent as well. People are saying, yeah, South Africans don't travel. We're going to travel where? When infrastructure and things that we have, we are on par with the best of the world. And that's why you'll find people, they run away to other countries. 5-10 years, they are back because the grass is not as green on the other side as they thought. It's actually interesting.
So anyway, if we can go back to 76 and then move forward, what was happening? What was the mood like around Soweto? Because we, like you were saying, we have all of these small pieces of the picture. We don't know what it was like for people who were alive and well during those times.
It's PC was very, very unfortunate. That man was dynamic. In fact, well, angaza bamanje, but the majority abantu base Orlando East, they were PAC members. Yeah. Mandela would take a podium, akhuluma. Okay, bavumelane naye. Akufika uSobuke akhulume. Yoshiya abantu befuna uku-actor there and then. Igazi libila behlanya. Yabona? Befuna izwe labo. uSobukwe uyaboshwa. Uyasentenswa. Uyayiqeda i-10-year sentence yakhe. Abelungu, they still send him back. Uma kubuza ukuthi for what? Kwaba khona into ekuthiwa iSobukwe clause. Yabona? Yeah. They had to manufacture something.
A law to keep him away from the people.
Which is what they did when they also pushed him to Northern Cape.
Yeah, in the Kimberley.
Kimberley, yeah. So, and my question then, Mkhulu, is why were the apartheid government so scared of Robert Sobukwe?
Of Pan-Africanism as a concept.
I would maybe the concept, yes, but it's almost specific. Like everything they did, they would do it to counter him. They would sentence someone else for the same crime, but he would get a different sentence from the other person who committed the same crime. What was it that made them fear Sobukwe so much?
Uma uSobukwe a breakaway from ANC. It was because the ANC did not believe in armed struggle. Yes. Sobukwe tells them, look here, amabhunu aslupha kangaka because they kill and Tina, we did not retaliate. Let them feel the very same pain we are feeling. Uma kubulawe indodana yami, one of their sons must also die. Then they will start thinking. And uSobukwe goes on to say, okay, kodwa ukuthi ANC ayivumelana nelokhoza nempi neviolence bafuna ukuthi ku negotiate
peaceful negotiation.
Yeah, peaceful. Yeah. Sobukwe waphuma ku ANC.
Yes.
But this is not the way. We are not going to win anything this way. Okay, esephumile. Abelungu bayeza kuSobukwe, but Mr. Sobukwe asithandi lento leyenziwa amabhunu kunina. Kusho bani? Laba babesikolonizile, yabona. Manje icala baliphushele emabhunweni, yabona. Lonke. Yeah. asithandi lento yenziwa amabhunu kunina sifuna ukunisiza and yet wena you have made it public that you don't want whites ku PAC manje sizonisiza kanjani wathi uma ngabe ni serious ngempela ukuthi nifuna ukusiza sinikeni ibhamu sinikeni imali ya sisebenze ngendlela esothu masilwa nalabantu abasihlukumeza kanje siwine lempi le and take over.
So we can match them.
Yeah. In the meantime thina senze njani hayi sinikeni imali sinike ibhamu nihambe niye la nivela khona uma sesiwinile ngoba we are definitely going to win this battle uma sesiwinile nizo apply kabusha and you will come back to South Africa in our ngama conditions ethu yabo yeah hayi ngendlela enize ngayo la yabo ukuthi nizosicindezela nizokwenzani nizosikhola no thina will scrutinize you sibonke hayi lo angeza azohlala nathi la okay lo yabo
This one will contribute. Yeah. This one brings value.
Abelungu abazange bayithande le nto babazi ukuthi bezeleni la.
Yes.
There is a priest, Father Pan, is very old now. Kangithi mangihleli naye ngikhuluma naye after the service ngimbuza imibuzo umthole eroka esitulweni sakhe kanje. Yeah. Acimeze. And I believe ukuthi you used to pray for the correct answer. Uyothuma aqhamuke ne-answer correct engisatisfy engenza happy kodwa before enginika leyo answer wayethi yo brasit nasesontweni ngabefundisi bangibiza brasit
Okay.
ati yo brasit the first missionaries anikene ekhanda angabe saqhubeka some missionaries beza eAfrica because babethunyelwe ababephethe emazweni abo ngepolitiki
The governments.
yeah to come and subdue us ngoba befuna ukuthi baphathe eAfrica yabo some of them kwakuyinto evukayo enhlizweni yabo ukuthi uNkulunkulu sithumele endaweni ethile ukuthi siyobatshela ngoNkulunkulu yeah but manje uma ngidiscussa nabo abefundisi bona laba bamnyama unfortunately abamhlophe so amadlebe wabi bovu kodwa uyabona they become angry yeah bathukuthela yeah uma ngibabuza ukuthi who told you ukuthi umuntu omnyama had to be taught about God eBhayibhelini kuyashiwo ukuthi uNkulunkulu usicreate in his own image lokuthi umhlophe unamehlo ablue nenwele ezinde I don't believe in that. What about my great grandfather? What about my grandfather who used to fight my father ngoba engifuna wayengithanda kangaka yeah wadalo ubani yilona enwele ezinde o uNkulunkulu ofana na in his own image yabona yeah abathanda uma ngibabuza imbuzi ngathi no God is a fair God. In his own way, he spoke to abantu abamnyama bokuqala abadala. He found a way of communicating with them in his own wisdom. Yeah. Yithi okay, Jesus Christ uma efuna ukukhuluma noyise wayenyukele entabeni. Akwazi uconcentrate akhulume noyise acele lento ayicelayo kuyise and then abuye ezephansi. Ngithi thina okhokho bethu uma sizalwa thina babesakwenza lokho uma kunesomiso when there is drought babekhuphukela entabeni yeah benze izinto bakhulume noNkulunkulu ngendlela uNkulunkulu ayebafundisa ukuthi bafuna bakhulume naye kanjani I don't know how ngangimncane kodwa babekhuluma noNkulunkulu bothi mabehla entabeni nenkosi namabutho uma befika phansi imvula iyana the very same day not tomorrow not a week later the very same day imvula iyana they had spoken to God yabo So we did not need abantu ukuthi bazositshela ukuthi uNkulunkulu ufuna siphile kanjani senzeni lezi zinto zokuthi umuntu ekushaya ngapha mnike this I don't believe ukuthi ngempela iphuma kuNkulunkulu leyo nto leyo. Who does that? Really? Who does that? Uma usuka umshaya ngempa mcanga ukuthi uzokunikela lesihla. He'll kick your back. Uyabona? Yeah.
And he doesn't have another cheek to give you.
No.
That umnika less.
No.
You don't have a third cheek to give.
So would you then say, Mkhulu, that the students of the uprising, what they call in the township now as iplak, they got the inspiration from Usobuk.
He was talking izinto vele ezazifunwa yonke umuntu omnyama uSobuku.
Yes.
That is why uthola ukuthi abelungu they pushed iPAC and baba so cruel ku PAC basondela ku ANC because ANC was the better devil. Yabo? And baba
the more peaceful one.
Yeah. Baba nika nemali baba supporta ngento eziningi ukuthi bona ba progress bathole ne support eningi because kunento eziningi ababezithola. Okay. ANC ithathe nini over 1994.
Yes.
Kodwa kusenabantu beAP labasesemajele namhlanje. Yabo? Ababekhishiwe, ababebalekile abanye baboshwa for the very same things ezazenziwe abe-ANC ngaleso sikhathi. Yabo? Abe-ANC kudala abaphuma. And fika 1994 bengake sibakhiphile kudala. Laba be-apply yini singabakhiphi? Why really? It's because bona basayibambile lento yokuthi asikakhululeki, we are not free yet. Into esasilwela sasilwela izwe ukuthi sithole izwe umhlaba and everything ekulo.
And also the other question I have, Mkhulu, is we know that the apartheid government, they obviously cooked the numbers and according to them there was only 200 students that passed on. In your personal capacity, do you have, as a family, did you have anyone that you lost during the actual June 16? Was there anyone that you knew personally, maybe a child that grew up in the street where you used to stay, that also lost their lives during the uprising with the students?
Ngase ngihlala la ekhaya mina ngo1976. Ubheki efunda. Because wayexoshiwe ecrash la eJabulani. Ubaba kaBuhle. Yeah, wayexoshiwe ecrash. Uma ngiyangiyobuza kwenze njani? Principal ithi, baba Khumalo, umntana wakho is just too brilliant. Wazi izinto eziphambili kakhulu, yabo. And manje because uyazazi lezi zinto azifundiswayo la ecrash. Uma eqala kuthiwa bayafundiswa iplays and ingane eziningi ziyadlala and zona zazi lutho. I'm telling the gospel truth. Zona zazi lutho. So kubazali bazo sidlala ngengane zabo. Asizifundisi lutho. So rather than ukuthi kukhala abazali abaningi kangabali kungcono kuphume lo oyi1 obudlalisa labantwana bangabe safunda manje. Yeah. Ngithi manje ngizomisa ngoba akakavumeleki ukuthi aye esikoleni. Isiphi isikole esizomthatha? Bangibhalela incwadi. Ngeza kuMemngwenya la. Ngamnika leyo ncwadi. Wambheka wathi hayi Khumalo ungadlali ngami. Yeah. Ama inspectors uma efika ayibona ingane encane kangaka la bazothi ngenzani ngale ngane. Ngiphelelwa umsebenzi ngiyaxoshwa. Yeah. Ngathi manje ngenze njani ngayo? Wathi hayi imgcine ekhaya enzeni ekhaya really? Wala uMemngwenya. Udadewethu usisiphangiwe wayefundisa eAB Chuma and umngane wakhe kusis Alice Miss Memnghi Yeah.
Wasn't that also Mkhulu, what Soweto was known as KwaXuma back in the day? Or wasn't there a certain section of Soweto that was known as KwaXuma?
No. I'm a post office.
I think I said two there.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, what was?
KwaXuma, because of Dr. Xuma. Yeah. So ubheki waqala lapho ukufunda. Emncane enjalo. Yaqala kanti ngoJune ngeke azawuqede nonyaka. NgoJune 16 ngisemsebenzini ngifonelwa umama wakhe. There's his mother. Yeah, uthi baba. Ngizwa kuthiwa ngiyabheda eSoweto. Ngingabalekeli ngingayi kulezo indawo. Yes, ukhona umfana la. Wakalingwadi. Uma kuthi junction unyuka kanje kubo kuleso strati leso. Wadutshula amabhono. On the 16th of June. Yeah. Wadutshula amabhono. Ngiyamazi yena kakhulu nje. Nabanye ke ngezwa later ukuthi nosibani. Khona umunye sazilala naye ibhola. Yena ke he was naughty. Akadutshulwanga wafela efridgini eligcina amabhiya eofisini kaMasipala. Yabo. Bekhipha utshwala. Kanti umnyango uzovaleka engaphakathi. Wafreezer engaphakathi. Yabo. Uma kuvulwa lapha kuthoda kade oma.
No, I remember a similar story my grandmother used to tell me, Uti. A lot of people in my father's generation, they became alcoholics around that time because part of the targets that they were going after were the beer halls, all of those kind of things. So after that whole thing, year 76, how did it change life in Soweto? Was there a marked difference, you could say, before 76 isn't Besiganje, then after that things changed? Because we can imagine something like that made world news.
Yes.
On the ground it must have felt way more heavy and so on. Yeah. So what was life like in the aftermath of 76?
Kwasenza ukuthi nathi amagwala sibe brave. I remember uma qeda ungifonela umama kaBheki, I told Mr. Swanepoel, who was my manager, ukuthi hey unkosikazi usanda kungifonela manje uthi kuyabheda eSoweto ingane zethu ziyafa sibulawa amasotsha ngiyahamba. What manje umsebenzi ngathi I'm not asking for a permission. My son uyafunda lena and mncane fanele ngiyobona ukuthi kwenzakalani. Yabona ngahamba Monday yakhona uma ngibuye emsebenzini uthi ufice kunjani. Hayi ngiyamtshela nokuthi hayi simfunile samthola kuphi kanjani and so on. And then uba ne follow up uyabuza ukuthi tell me ukube wafica umntanakho elimele wayoku ngathi ngangiyobulala 20 whites from this company. That's what I told him. Yes abur ngamtshela ngathi ngangizofika la ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi abelungu baningi la endaweni eyodwa ngangizobulala 20 of the whichever white man or woman engihlangana nayo ngangiyombulala. Yeah, ngikhiphe isibhongo for ukufa komntanami ukuthi ufeleni umntanami emncane kangaka. Hey, sasizwana ke noSwanepoel engirespect. Nganginale onto nje. As young as I was, they called me Mr. Khumalo emsebenzini. Even the management, Mr. Khumalo. Noma kufuneka ku-interprete fanele ukuthi kube mina ozokhuluma isintu ya ukuthi abantu ba-understand ukuthi umlungu uthini. So they respected me. Kodwa ke kusukela ngalelo la ngabona ukuthi hayi uSwanepoel akahambeli kude ngoba enenye iperception noma engangithandi. Ya wayengithanda for umsebenzi wami engangiwenza kwakuyiko ukuthi akasangithembi manje yabona
Oh, because of what you had said.
yeah because of what I said yeah so i76 yenza mina ngajwayela ukuthi ngiyevits ngoba labafana laba abagcina behambile baya ku Excel babe nama meetings almost every Saturday evits ngikhumbula hey kukhona abazali kucwela ama students lapha evits ngiyafika ngifika phezulu kodaba lokuthi akungafundwa.
So Mkhulu, sorry to interject. I'm just I hear you talking about vets, and we all know, like they said, Mandela and them also studied there. Was vets in defiance of the government when they accepted black students, or did they separate the black students in the class from the white students? What was the setup like for black students who went to vets during apartheid?
They did not separate the students. It difference I16 okay ubheke ufunde eUCT.
Yes.
Yeah. Because of ama marks awathola. Yeah, why eUCT. The Ibeza, in fact he got 3 bursaries. They wanted to send him to America.
Yes.
He turned that offer down. Bafuna ukumthumela eBritain. He turned that offer down. Bathi ufuna ukuya kuphi? What AUCT? Uma ngimbuza sisi sobabi why big? Wathi baba, you are the only father I have. You are the only parent I have. Uma ngigula ngile eAmerica, ufika kanjani eAmerica? Ngise London, ufika kanjani? Wena uma ngizwe ukuthi uyagula, ngifika kanjani la? Uyabona? Those were the reasons zakhe ezenza ukuthi angafuni ukuyama. Kodwa ke ngize ngikhulume uthi ngingakhulumi ngawo. Ngize ngifike kuleyo ndaba manje it's because yes the lecturer will give you the same lecture. Uma wena ngane umuntu omnyama unenkinga angithi kufanele uye ku lecturer.
Yes.
Yeah ukuthi achazele kahle
I don't
akhanyisele.
understand.
Uma wena ngane umuntu omnyama ufika lapha i-lecture ithi no everything is in the book. Yeah. It's so simple, everything is in the book. Ayitsheli lento lo izele. He sends you back to the book. La uphuma khona ngoba uhlulekile yabona
You didn't understand.
yeah
so you said-
yes ingane yomlungu ninayo and nise-res efanayo mhlambe nilala endaweni eyodwa nayo nihlupheka nayo le ngane yomlungu mfana omlungu. You have the very same problem. Athumeya ku lecturer uphuma la worried unishiya worried nonke no worried yabona umebuya yena uhappy ingane yomuntu omnyama umibuya
They're frustrated.
yeah you frustrated yabona so I difference babesishaya nje lapho.
So it was basically same curriculum, same lecturer, but different types of assistants.
Yabona
And
exactly.
different privileges.
Yeah, different privileges based on your
Yeah.
on your skin complexion, obviously.
And ekunalento ukuthi mina I cannot phone i-lecturer noma ngifonela i-lecturer izongitshela ukuthi izobiphula umthetho blah 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 he loses work and so on. Uma ubaba umfana omlungu emfonela ubaba umfana omlungu he's a director in a company yabona ethi no ngizokubonga yabona yeah uzombonga ngento engakanani yabona mina ngizombonga ngalo kulo mlungu lo so definitely that boy would get help yabona yeah
And you know, as we're wrapping up, Mkhulu, because also like we said, it's us documenting our stories. It's an ongoing thing. It doesn't stop. So we will definitely elaborate as well on other topics as well. But I wanted to find out from you, Mkhulu, because now you have basically lived pre-apartheid. You've lived during apartheid. You are now living in democracy. how has things changed? What is it that worked then that is not working now? Have we lost ourselves as Africans? Have we lost our ways? And how can we go back to being who we are or who we should be?
You have lost a lot. You have lost a lot. Yeah. Kupromotwa isingisi. Abazukulu bam, they can't speak Zulu. Bakhuluma isingisi and they pass with flying colors. Bahamba kahle lapha. Kodwa ke nje savota. Sivotela inkululeko nezwe lethu and everything that belong to izwe lethu. Abasiphethe bayeka into kakufanele ukuthi ngabe mina nasestimeleni bengiye ngisho wherever etaxini nasemsebenzini nasesontweni batshele ngithi babhayizila abaholi bethu. They should have started with education.
Yes.
Ezabi ingane bazikhipha zayofunda kuma protectorates.
Yes.
Because of bengafuthi zifunde this education. Yeah. Kube baqala nge-education and get it right. 30 years later ngabe sikude kabi. Yeah. Ngabe sinezinto esikwazi ukuzenzela. Sidlula Mozambique. Ababe sebenzisa ilokhuza. Konje in the school esilapha eDube. Vocational.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a cousin uDinki. Sorry. Wafunda evocational. Ufunda ukuthunga. Nginesithombela lapho ngigqoke khona iskipa esasithungu nama underwears. He's in London today. Wafika le wathunga elangeni wasebenza. KwaMozambique bakwazi ukuthunga izicathulo, belistina phezulu kwesistina. Laba bethu mabengena baqeda vocational baqeda zonke lezo zinto lezo. Silwa nalabantu sithi basithathela imisebenzi. Yipi imisebenzi
ngoba siyazi.
Yeah, asiyazi imisebenzi. Yipi imisebenzi abasithathela yona really. Uma beshaya la bethengisela lapha emakhonini bebalekele police station, the next thing ufuna iklabish, you can't get it anyway here. There's nobody who's prepared to sell iklabish. Icathulo lesa akekho umuntu okwazi ukuzithunga. So kufanele sihambe sibafuna labantu really. So kunokuthi baqhubeke nabo vocational ngoba it's not everybody. Yabona also
Academic.
Yes. What about those who cannot be academics? Why did you stop ifundo ezizokwenza ukuthi bakwazi ukuyiphilisa later on?
The nursing colleges, teacher colleges.
Yeah. Bawavala. Ingane zofundiswa ubani uma othisha bengesekho. Ngabe iyona into abaqala ngayo i-education ukuthi bayilungise. Yeah. I've got a cousin. Khokhi uhlala yeah. Yo. Uma ungambona ungakhala inyembezi. Yeah. Uphuma le ngaphandle naye. Yeah. Lo mfana lo yes. Yes. Wahamba kanzima, waphuma kanzima. Yeah. Waphelela elokhuzeni eLesotho. Yeah. Ngoba nangapha eNamibia kwasekunzima. Laba ababephethe ngenge ngayivotela iANC. Namanje ngisavotela yona. Kodwa ke legenge le yabo Oliver Tambo endaweni angisho ukuthi uOliver Tambo igenge le eyayiclose kubo uma bekubona ukuthi uyingozi they would talk to the soldiers balapho nikhona ukuthi ban eliminate yabona yeah.
Also they didn't approve of dissent.
Yeah.
If you disagreed with them, then you were in trouble.
Yeah.
uMkhulu, do you think? And you mentioned we lost a lot do you think we can still save our country? Do you think we can still
fix it?
We can fix it and take it back to where it should be, and not to where it's heading, because not everyone, because there's very few people who are benefiting. Not everyone is happy, but can we still save
What's
and
left,
turn
what's
around
left
what's
of,
left?
What's left of it, yes. What's left of it, yes. Ngoba it would belong to...
And how do we do that? So you said education is one.
Yeah.
And I liked the fact that, there's a lot of parallels between us and Zimbabwe, for example. Because what they got right, what we got wrong is they started with education.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And to this day, we still have that perception in our minds that Zimbabweans are educated. It's because they prioritize that.
Yeah.
So what are the other things? Maybe we can say two things in closing, that if we were to focus on these two things as a country, we can recover.
We can steer the ship in the right direction.
Talking of Zimbabweans, ozamazama sifunda kuma-Zimbabweans ukuthi igolide lambiwa phansi.
Ayiphelanga.
Yeah. And siyabakwatela for usikhombisa ukuthi lisasekhona yabo.
Do you still have riches? It's not finished.
It's not finished. Yeah. Uthini ubani this guy ophethe zona lezi emgodi. Sesikhulu Mantashe. Yeah. Ucabanga ukuthi ngabe ubambelela kangaka kukhulu azi ukuthi no iphelile. Yeah. No, our country is still very, very rich. Yes. That is why America wants, ifuna ukusishaya iAmerica. Ifuna ukuthi status quo sibuyele ukuthi akubuse oHelen Zille, isystem izoba njengoba yayinjalo kuqala. Kuthathwe konke kuyiswe kubona. Yeah. All these other groups sebeyibonile leyo nto abafuna, so bafuna ukuthi kubuyele oHelen Zille. Coming to uZuma ngiyazi anengibuza, coming to uZuma wonke lamahlazo ayavela, ngisho akazenzanga lokho, avela because iAmerica wanted to have an army base in South Africa. Ikhona izoshaya iZimbabwe from America never fights its wars from America.
Soil, yes.
Yeah. So iAmerica ifuna ukushaya iZimbabwe from South Africa. uZuma what I call. Tina, we are at peace in Zimbabwe. We don't need the army base, a foreign army base. Why really? Yabaphatha kabi ama-Americans. Abelungu yabaphatha kabi. The whites yabaphatha kabi leyo ndawo. They have an army base in Botswana.
Yes.
Yeah, they have an army base in Botswana. So kwaqala kwavela indaba ezimbi ngoZuma ukuthi makaphume lapha yana. Ngoba as long as elapha ya lo muntu lo ngeke asivumele ukuthi kube khona izinto eziza ngapha kwabamhlophe bazidlulisele eAmerica naseBritain. Yeah. And ngempela konke lamahlazo avela bamemvula izinqe. Yeah, wavela ubala uZuma. Everybody hated uZuma. Although he still is a populist. Yeah.
And Mkhulu, and this is the last question from my side. For every young person that's watching or listening now, what is your advice to them?
I've always believed education. Uma ngikhuluma nge-education. Akekho umuntu ophuca i-education kodwa uyisebenzise ngendlela. What is happening in Palestine is exactly happening in South Africa. Ama-Israelites asebenzisa ama-bomb from wathatha America and so on. Thina la angithi washo Netanyahu ukuthi bulalani izingane zama-Palestinians no mama bazo. Uma bulala zonke izingane zala eSoweto, 15 years time from now, 20 years from now, akho bantu abayokwenza ingane ngaleso sikhathi nabo mama bazo uma kuthiwa bulalana ingane zala eSoweto zonke no mama bazo angithi nibulala ingane ezingeke zenza abantwana in 20 years time kodwa uma niqeda ukuyibulala lezi nganinika omama bayaqhubeka bathola ingane if you kill them now they won't bear children.
And okay, I know I said it's my last question, but I'm just trying because I know uMkhulu is very smart as well. When you say when you refer to kill, you're not necessarily talking violent means as well. You are referring to the wrong things as well that is happening that is stifling growth and killing the community instead of. Am I right in reading it like that?
Very right. To cut a long story short, lo muntu onika ingane zethu inyawupe. Yababona labantwana babanjani? He's killing abantwana namhlanje. In 20 years time, will these children be able to produce abantwana? We'll have no.
Will they be productive citizens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they will only. Okay. They'll only take. They won't. They definitely won't contribute, but they'll just be taking.
Yeah.
No. So from my side, I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for opening our minds to so many things. There's a lot that we have to think about. Even we know this is not our last time. We will definitely come back and take the story further. But funny, before you asked the question, when he was giving the analogy, my mind was just thinking about the drug problem we have in our townships and the alcohol problems, and all these things are killing a generation.
We don't want to accept that
it's a generational genocide that you look in every family. There's someone who's struggling in every street. There's a generation that we might be missing. We have uMkhulu and all that. We have the little children, but here in between, there's a war that's
spiritual
and economic and so many different ways.
And labantu abanika ingane zethu, they tell ezabingane ukuthi
don't touch this.
This is business. Don't touch it. Don't ever touch it. Yabo? So ezethu ingane azifa ezabo. Kusho ukuthi uma sekufele lezi zethu ezabo izona ezothatha over.
No, Mkhulu, from my side as well. Siyabonga. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure the viewers and the listeners enjoyed it. And for those who only understand this Ingisi, it's about time now you use Google Translate as well. We will try and put the subtitles in the bottom, but I think it's also important that we have 11 official languages. It's you can't only be speaking one. I'm not saying to you go learn Zulu or isiZulu. I'm not telling you which language to learn, but you can't be a South African and only understand one language. I think that is a shame. So we trust we will educate you in that way as well, where you will learn a bit of isiZulu, especially when we were at uMkhulu. But from my side, Mr. Linzito, the number one motivator outside of the equator, sharpen away.
Thank you very much. Thank you.